Hey Diego, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate this. I've been looking at your work for a few months now, and yeah, I'm excited to do this.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And I've seen your work as well. I love what you're doing, showing insight into your world. Can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Diego Tonatiuh. I'm a Canadian footballer, raised in Canada. My entire life, I've traveled to South America and to Europe. I've never actually signed a pro contract, but that is and will continue to be the goal until I do.
Yeah, and that's in the works right now as we speak. You're in Seattle, correct?
Oh, shit. I'm in Seattle, and yeah, so I'm playing with a team that's going to be playing in Nisa for next season. So I'm just honestly right now we're about to play in the independent tournament in July, the Nisa independent tournament, and beyond that, I'm actually not 100% sure what's going to happen. So I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and yeah, trying to figure things out currently.
Cool. And how long have you been in the States right now?
It's coming up to a month, so yeah, just about a month.
Okay, cool. So I mean, you
Yeah.
you do hold a Canadian passport, so you have like 5 more months because the max is 6 months for Canadians.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that. I thought it was three. So that's good to know.
No, you're good. You're good for the
Oh
next 5 months.
man.
So that's exciting. That's good news. All right.
Oh
So
man. Okay.
yeah, let's start with some fun questions. So the first fun question that I have for you is, what's your
Sounds
favorite team?
good. Oh, my favorite team, Atletico Madrid, definitely. I've always loved the way that they play, and for me, it's not so much. I feel like growing up in Canada, we're not attached to teams the same way that people in Europe are. But we're still on the same passion because we don't grow up around teams, and our family doesn't support teams in that way, unless your family does. But mine didn't. But I just love the way Atletico plays, and I love some of the players that have been on the team and are on the team. So that's the team I support.
Cool. What about your favorite player?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Um, I really like. To be honest, I don't. I don't. I'm not the type of person that have like a favorite player and only one favorite player. I like a whole bunch of different players. It depends on the day, depends on the game. But coming to mind right now is Cavani on Man United, plays for Uruguay too, and Grealish. I like the way he plays as well. But yeah, I mean, just those are just a couple. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a favorite pair of cleats that you wear or that you've had?
Yeah, 100%. The old Adidas Predators. Yeah, I think back in like 20, I want to say like 2012. I forget the exact year. And the Puma Ultras now. Those are by far my favorite cleats to wear.
Nice. I
Yeah.
was gonna say the Predators are way too heavy. I know that doesn't matter.
No, they are. Do you know the ones that have like the grip on the side that they weren't the heavy ones though. They were I forget exactly what they were called, but it's all good.
Yeah. What's your most memorable soccer moment?
Probably going to South America and getting on the bus for Peñarol, which is like one of the top teams in Uruguay and South America, period. So that was definitely like a very memorable moment. Just in the sense that as coming from Canada, never really had that like professional experience before, and like getting on a team bus, going to the facility, seeing all the fields, all the different coaches, the environment, the atmosphere, everything. It was a whole new experience for me.
Yeah, and you mentioned Canada. What part of Canada are you from? Did you already mention that? Vancouver.
I think I may have, yeah, but I'm from Vancouver, BC, so West Coast.
Nice. And how is it growing up in Vancouver? I've never been.
I mean, it's a beautiful place. I want to say the most beautiful place in the world, but that's subjective. In terms of football, though, it's I feel like it's a very difficult place, and I think a lot of players who are from there would agree with me. It's a very difficult place to grow, and succeed in your career out of there. So what a lot of players end up doing is going overseas and trying to find lower division teams and working their way up from there. And there have been a few success stories out of Vancouver, but other than that, it's not right now. Currently, it's not the greatest place I would say for a young footballer to grow and develop in their career.
Good points. I mean, that's where you come in into the future. You should change that for Vancouver. Um, what would you say? You know, do you guys only have the Vancouver Whitecaps, or do you guys have any other MLS teams over there or USL teams?
So we have the Vancouver Whitecaps in the MLS and the Pacific FC, which is on Victoria Island, which is just like an hour away by boat. You take the ferry, and those are both professional teams. Other than that, there aren't any other professional teams. Hopefully, I've heard that that will change very soon. We may have a semi-pro league coming to BC and potentially another professional league, but I don't know too many details. That's part of the reason why I feel like it's so difficult to find a pathway for young players is because of that reason exactly, the lack of you know teams to work your way up in, and the teams that we do have, Pacific FC is like brand new, and Whitecaps is you know it's corrupt. Just gonna put it that way. It's just very difficult. Like and I'm not the only one that feels this way. It's like anyone that's not in the Whitecaps, anyone that I feel like maybe even if you are in the Whitecaps, you do realize like how political and difficult it is to work your way into that system if you're not in there from a young age. And even if you are in there from a young age, things don't may not always work out for you. So it's just a very linear system with not a lot of entry points. Um, and I think that's the issue. So it's as a result of the lack of pro teams.
Right. And besides the pro teams, are there a lot of amateur teams?
There are, but there are also like a lot of like dead ends in the sense that there are amateur teams, but they don't take you anywhere. There aren't, the only route really is college or university.
Got it. Last two questions. Did you ever play soccer in the house when you were a kid?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I definitely broke a couple things, not to the liking of my parents, but it's always fun. It's the best time.
Yeah, good times. All right, last question. Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
Ooh, great question. Now I feel like I'm so torn. I'm so torn because there are arguments for both. I just feel like Messi, ah, it's honestly, I'm gonna go 50-50. I can't make a decision. I
Yeah,
never have been, and I
I'm gonna
don't
put
want to cause any
I'm gonna put you
controversy.
on the spot. You got to choose one. You got to choose one. Who's your go-to FIFA Ultimate Team, Messi
I
or Ronaldo?
Okay, I want to say Messi. I
Okay,
want to say Messi. Yeah, yeah, Messi.
for sure. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Diego, let's tap into you.
yeah.
Back take us back in time, where soccer all started for you. Like, how did it all start? Did your parents put you in? Did your auntie put you in? Like, how did it all start for you?
So my parents put me in. I think when I was like 8,
Yeah.
and never really took it too serious. It was always just something I did for fun. When I was around 16, I want to say like 15, 16, I broke my leg, and and it was kind of at that point when I realized like how serious do I want to take this because this is causing me bodily harm to like a higher degree, and if I recover from this, how am I going to take this serious enough to then pursue it professionally? And that's what I chose and ended up doing. And I'm very grateful for the mindset that I had back then to take it as serious as I did to end up where I am now.
Nice. And, this is a new question that I just added, but why do you play soccer? What's your why?
For me, it's just like a way. Like I love being able to express myself creatively in many different ways, and soccer or football is just another one of those ways. But if there's something different about it in the sense that it's like you have a team around you and you're all executing like this I want to say like this painting on the field, right? It's just like you got a canvas and you're all just working out this game plan, and it's just beautiful the way like the ball moves. And for me, that just hits like a spot that unlike any other creative outlet. And beyond the creativity, there's physicality and the athletic side of things too that really draws me in. So it's just for me, it's the whole package of what football means. It's a lifestyle, it's the people you meet, everything. That's what really draws me in and keeps me in the game.
Those are some really good points that you shared right there. What teams, have you played for? Can you give us, like, a list of all the teams that you played for?
Man, this list is gonna be like 20 teams long.
Okay, give us the last 3
I
teams
mean,
that you played
okay,
for.
so in Vancouver. Okay, that's a better question. So the last three teams that I've played for, can it be trained with, or does it have to be sides?
Yeah, of course, trained with, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, okay. So going back to Malta, Tarshin Rainbows, Ormi FC, and those are both in Malta, and then FC Maya Lidador in Portugal. So those were the previous three.
Nice, and how was your experience in Portugal?
I was probably the best like portion or 6 months, or it was actually 4 months in Portugal. The best 4 months of my life, I would say. Like that adventure and experience was second to none. I love Portuguese people. I love Portugal, and their style of football is amazing. So I learned so much being over there.
And
It
shout out
was
to all the
incredible.
Portuguese. Um, what position do you play?
Yeah. That's a good question because I've been all over the place throughout my career. So I started off as a winger, but then I was always like a scrawny, like smallest on my team, fast, quick, agile. Like I was that sort of winger. But as I grew up, I actually got a lot taller, and then I started working out, got a lot bigger, and the competition for the winger positions got a lot higher. So I started playing striker because that suited my physical attributes a lot more. And then I got moved to center, or actually to fullback, because I do perform well on the wing. And then now I'm currently playing center back CDM. So I've been all over the place. And I feel like that's actually a good thing because I'm able to understand the qualities of each different position and be really flexible when it comes to being on a team and a coach's placement of players.
Okay, so that's good. You're adaptable to any position. Um, do you have any tips for the viewers of being adaptable for it to be able to play in any position?
Just be extremely coachable. It's going to be tough on your ego, definitely at some points when players or coaches are giving you advice that you feel like you just need time to implement. It's going to be definitely tough on your ego. I experienced this last night at training. Like it's hard. It's hard to constantly be taking advice when you're learning something new, especially in like a competitive environment. So definitely just be always open to listening and really be humble in the sense that you don't know anything, but at the same time, understand that you have the potential to know it all. So just always be like listening and willing to learn. Basically, is just be very coachable. That'll go a long way.
Yeah, that's a great life skill. Always being coachable, being coached by the right people is very important. You've been to Portugal, you're in the States right now, away from family, friends. What sacrifices have you and your family made for soccer?
I mean, for me, uh, I've never like I guess I wouldn't even want to call it a sacrifice on my end because it's what I love. So by not going to parties and really socializing as much as I guess the average like teenager, and instead focusing on work and training and school when I was in school, just to like grind out that portion of my life. I mean, to me, that wasn't a sacrifice because I enjoyed it, but definitely some people might view that as a sacrifice. And then in terms of my parents, they definitely sacrifice in the sense that they both work extremely hard and support me in my dream. And definitely, they helped me out when I was in Portugal. Like at some point, I did run out of money, and then I needed to ask them. I was like, "Yo, can you guys spot me a little bit of money to get back home?" For the flight, and they helped me out with that, and obviously I worked to pay them back, but because that's just something I want to do. They were happy to help me, but I understand how much they sacrificed for me, so I you know want to repay them in any way I can.
Shout out to all the parents. as you know, all the soccer moms and soccer
Yeah.
dads. When do you plan to sign your first professional contract, Diego?
It's looking like it's going to be 2022. And ideally, I would have liked it to be this season, but there's a lot of confusion right now, and it seems like 2022 is when it's going to happen. I mean, that's got to be it. That's 2022 is when I'm going to be pro for sure.
Yeah, and are you a 2000? Okay, cool. So you're 21 right now, or turning.
I'm a 2001,
Oh, that's even better for your age. That's good. So
turning 21 next year.
yeah,
Yeah.
got it. That's good though. That's good. So you're younger than me. Um, all right. So you said that you want to sign. I want to dive a little bit deeper with this. This is NISA, which is tier 3, which is really good. It's professional. It's a professional environment, professional space. 2022, you want to sign your first professional contract. You're an international player. Do you know the details of how many international players the team's going to take?
I actually don't. I don't. But I've got um I've been in really close. I've got a good relationship with the owner of the club, so I feel like regardless of how many international players they're gonna take, I feel like I've got a spot. Like that's just personal, and it's not 100%. But yeah, I don't know how many international players they're gonna take. That's a good question.
That's a good point. I like that you're sharing. You know, you've been able to create a relationship with the coach, and you actually not the coach, the owner, and you have a good relationship with the owner. The only thing that I would say that I would mention is that it's always good to know all the details because then it helps you have more confidence in your mind to make sure that you manifest that goal to achieve it. But that's really good to hear. And you know, do you have an agent right now that's helping you, or are you doing it all by yourself?
I definitely have people helping me, and he's not my agent in particular. Like we never signed anything, but he may as well be my agent. And like he got me other opportunities in Portugal and Malta, and we're still working on potentially others back in Portugal or somewhere else in Europe. So yeah, he's not my agent, but I'm not gonna say names right now, but
Yeah,
he may as well be. Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. Um, how did you get your agent? Is this a family friend, or did you did they find you? How did that work out?
It's a little bit of both. So I know a coach, and he works at an academy, and it's the owner of that academy that is my agent. And but he also found me on social media and reached out to me there. But we also have like friends in common that also kind of help set it up. So it's a little bit of both. Social media definitely does help in that regard, um, just to like promote yourself and put yourself out there. So yeah, it's a bit of both, I would say.
Amazing. So let me see. Okay, so I see you on Instagram. You're doing your thing on Instagram. I I see you on YouTube. Are you on TikTok? Are you on Twitter, Snapchat? Are you on those other 3 platforms?
Not Snapchat, but the other two, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know, mention it here on this video. You know, how many followers do you have on Instagram? Subscribers on YouTube, TikTok? Just mention all the numbers, your status.
Yeah, so on Instagram right now, I think I've got 5,600, I want to say. And then on TikTok, I've got almost 19,000. And then on YouTube, I've got 1.2K.
Nice. And what's your favorite platform to use and create content and post on?
I definitely like Instagram just because I've been doing it the longest. But yeah, no, I would say Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love stories. I love stories.
But it
Yeah.
seems like you have 19,000 followers on TikTok. So do you think it's easier to grow on TikTok and faster?
Yeah, I don't value like for me. I value YouTube subscribers. Like those are the hardest to get, and then it's Instagram, and I feel like TikTok is the easiest to like kind of just make whatever content, and then people find you and then follow you. It's a lot easier, but it's a lot more fun too. It's a lot in different ways. But yeah, it's a lot easier on TikTok.
Good points. I like how you said YouTube subscribers are more valuable. Um, with saying that, I want to mention that you are creating. It all has to do. It all ties back into soccer. So you're creating soccer content. You're giving soccer insight, tips, tricks. what you're experiencing in certain points and times, which is really good insight for other aspiring soccer players that want to become professional soccer players. Um, what's the series? You know, mention your YouTube channel. Where can the viewers find your YouTube channel?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm on YouTube at Diego TGL. So that's Diego and then just TGL. I'm like, that's my at everywhere on social media. And the series that I've got on YouTube right now is called The Journey to Pro. Now, I know that's not something new. Like, I know a lot of other players have been making like Journey to Pro series, but I feel like mine's slightly different just because I try to show all the behind the scenes, even to the point where it's got me in trouble with some clubs and people in the past. So I'm really trying to just document you know, everything that happens behind the scenes in terms of like the financial side of things, like not just the football aspect, but I do show the football aspects as well, obviously. Um, but yeah, and also I've been traveling, so I started the journey to pro in Portugal. Then we went over to Malta. There was like some craziness that happened there. I got banned from going to Malta. Um, and now I went back to Canada, and now I'm in the States, and I'm continuing that series. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to follow along to see where I end up next, you can go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. And I've got all the seasons ordered in playlists. So I'm trying to make like a reality series type thing. That's like my goal. But yeah, if that sounds interesting, go check it out. I'd appreciate it.
Guys, go check that out. So, you know, what it's all soccer related content. What year did you get started in?
Content creation.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say it was 2018. I think I started posting on Instagram, but like only YouTube I started really this year. Same with TikTok. I started this year. Or sorry, late 2020. Same with TikTok. And then Instagram, I feel like I've been going at it for a lot longer. So I've had a lot of practice, you know, being comfortable in front of the camera, posting on stories and writing captions, all that sort of thing. I feel like that was good prep for TikTok and YouTube.
Nice. And is this your first interview that you're doing?
No, I've had I think three others with other footballers. Yeah,
Cool,
but this
cool.
is the best one so far.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know. Thank you. All right, last question. What are 3 tips that you can share with aspiring soccer players that wanna go pro?
All right, the first and most important tip is if you truly want to make it and you truly believe in yourself, just have patience. And I know it's so difficult watching other players have their successes and seeing everything on social media. But if you just stick it out and you stay true to who you are, stay true to the game, then I can't guarantee that you'll make it, but if you were to make it, it'll happen that way. And the second piece of advice is be coachable. I already mentioned it earlier. I feel like that's something that's gotten me very far in my career, and to end up where I am now is just being someone who the coaches can like and respect, and someone who takes their advice and actually implements it onto the field. Same with other players, be coachable in the sense that the more experienced players on your team, respect them, listen to them. That goes a long way. And the third piece of advice I would give is, you are a footballer and football is the most important thing, but at the end of the day, you are also an athlete, and, taking care of all the different aspects outside of just football, like nutrition, recovery, sleep, all these different, and even like the mental side of things. Like I practice meditation myself. So like just really encompassing all the different areas that it takes to become an athlete and a footballer, I think is extremely important and will set you apart from the rest. So that I'd say those are the three big pieces of advice that I'd have to give.
Yeah, Diego, great points. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me. So thank you.
No, thank you. I really enjoyed that.